I put together a budget build AR-15. This is a PSA, and I decided I was going to put a muzzle brake on it. This is a Strike Industries. I forget which one, but I wanted to talk about muzzle brakes because if you watch my channel, all my AR-15s have the A2 birdcage on them. This is the first one that I've decided to put a muzzle brake on. And I always tell people, like, I don't run muzzle brakes. I don't like muzzle brakes. I just run the standard A2. And there's a reason for that. Most of my guns I put together for self-defense in mind, fighting rifle in mind. And I always look at a rifle every time I put one together, or every time I go buy one, like, is this something that I could pick up and use if I needed to? I literally, everything's that way that I own. So I normally won't put these on because of just going to the range with my friends that use muzzle brakes. You don't want to be fighting with somebody and they have a muzzle brake on and they're right beside you. Obviously, combat and stuff is loud. I'm not trying to act like if you don't have a muzzle brake on, it's not going to be loud. You know, it's going to be loud no matter what. But when you have jets of air coming from the ports and they're literally smacking you in the side of the face, I mean, you can get a headache from these things sometimes. So that's why I don't really recommend them. And also, if you put a gun together for home defense, a rifle is so loud, and then you add these things on and you touch this off inside of your house. Most of the shooting I do, or a lot of it at my range here, there's actually a building that I shoot inside of, and I shoot out, but it's covered. The benches that we sit on are covered inside of a brick building. And this muzzle brake just amplifies the sound like 10 times inside of a building. I know we've all seen the movie Black Hawk Down, and you've seen where the two soldiers are fighting with machine guns, and the one guy goes, they're both engaging, and then somebody sees an enemy, and he spins his rifle around, or his machine gun around, and he's right in front of his buddy, and he's taking out, enemy combatants, and they don't have muzzle brakes or anything on their machine guns. Now, I get it's a machine gun, and the guy ends up going deaf from it.
Shit! Get out! What'd I just tell you? I swear to God, you do that! You okay? Nelson, you all right?
So you don't want to be in a situation like that where you're forced to make a shot like that across your buddy, and now he's deaf, or worse, he has some kind of physical cut or something on his face. Hopefully he's wearing eye protection. You guys are wearing eye protection. Obviously, fantasy situation, but you just never know. So I don't recommend muzzle brakes for that. Now, they make muzzle brakes like Surefire. You can get the War Comp, and there's a bunch of other ones that you can mount suppressors on top. So if you are in a home defense situation or whatever, you can always mount your suppressor on, and then when you're outside, take the suppressor off, and then you have a good comp on it, which that's fine if you want to do that. I hesitate with the whole suppressor thing. I really don't see a ton of suppressor use in real life. I understand on the internet, suppressors are this big thing that everyone and their mom has, but in real life, do I really see suppressors being used? No, I don't. I really don't think guys want to go through the hassle of suppressing guns or SBRing guns because of the paperwork. So I'm going to just assume you don't have a suppressor. If you're one of those guys that have suppressors, that's cool, and you already know what I'm talking about. But that is the reason I don't run muzzle brakes typically on rifles. It's just the sound, the concussion, and I like to look at all my rifles as a fighting rifle if I need it. Now, if you want to build a range toy, that's fine. Just, you have to be considerate when you come out to the range with stuff like this, because you're going to end up pissing a lot of guys off. But the one thing that muzzle brakes are really, really good at is controlling recoil. I have 5 rounds in the magazine here, and you can see just how little recoil there is. I mean, the gun like doesn't move. So let's check that out. I mean, it just stays flat, which is, when I first took the shots with this, I'm like, wow, that's really cool. And it is. It's just, it's loud and super concussive. So if you think you can build a rifle if you think you're going to build a rifle for home defense or something, I suggest leaving the muzzle brake off. But I understand why people like them. They are cool. So anyways, have a good day. Thanks for watching.